When you hear the name Treasure Island, your mind probably jumps straight to pirates, buried chests of gold, all that stuff. But there's another treasure island, a real one. And its story is, in its own way, just as wild. So today we're going to dig into both. So what on earth could swashbuckling pirates and a glamorous 1930s World's Fair possibly have in common? Well, it all comes down to a single, very powerful name.
See, on one hand, you've got the Treasure Island of legend, a place completely born from imagination, full of buccaneers and buried loot. But then you have the other one, a very real 400-acre island sitting right in the middle of San Francisco Bay, an island built for a World's Fair with a story that's packed with its own secrets.
To really get a handle on the real island's incredible journey, we're going to try something a little different. Let's look at its history as if it were a company. It had ambitious founders, a dramatic change in ownership, a secret corporate past, and now a very public debate about its future. Okay, so Chapter 1. Let's talk about the company's stewards. I mean, every great enterprise has its founders, right? For Treasure Island, they were the incredibly ambitious civic leaders and engineers of 1930s San Francisco. And the scale of this startup, it was just staggering. They didn't just find a piece of land, they literally built it. From the seafloor. We're talking 400 acres dredged up from the bottom of the San Francisco Bay. They created something brand new, right out of thin air. So what was their big product launch? Well, it was the 1939 Golden Gate International Exposition. After 3 years of nonstop construction, this gleaming magic city opened its gates to the entire world. It was this breathtaking spectacle of art and technology that shone brightly for just 2 short years. You can just feel the excitement in the headlines from back then. Can you imagine seeing a brand new island just rise out of the bay? It must have felt like watching a miracle of engineering and just pure raw ambition. But then, after the fair closed its gates, the island's company went through let's call it a massive change in leadership. A single, powerful new owner took control, and its entire mission changed basically overnight.
Yeah, the party was officially over. The U.S. Navy took over, and they turned those vibrant fairgrounds into Naval Station Treasure Island. For the next 50-plus years, it was a restricted military base. Its whole purpose shifted from public spectacle to secret strategy.
And it's here, behind the gates of this new military operation, that a really secret and dangerous history started to unfold, one that cast a long, dark shadow over the island's sunny origins. You see, during the Cold War, Treasure Island became a key site for the Navy's nuclear program. Sailors were trained there to decontaminate ships after a nuclear attack. They worked on actual vessels that had been exposed to atomic bomb tests, and even on mock-up ships like the USS Pandemonium. This work left a toxic legacy that would stay hidden for decades. The environmental cost was just immense. When the Navy finally left and the cleanup crews moved in, what they found was shocking. Some soil samples had radiation levels 400 times the EPA safety limit for humans. The island's secret history was literally buried right there in its own soil. So all of that brings us to its current chapter. After the Navy left, the ownership of the island suddenly became a question for the public, for the people of San Francisco. And this is where our little corporate metaphor really comes to life. The island's future is now being decided in what are basically public shareholder meetings. Think city planning commissions, town halls, places where ordinary citizens, the new stakeholders, get to decide the company's new direction. So what do these new shareholders actually want? Well, they want a community that's built for people, and their vision is pretty incredible. We're talking about a plan that's focused on pedestrian-friendly streets, stunning public parks with 360-degree views of the bay, and new beach access for everyone. It's a future built on connection, nature, and community. So after this whole story, a saga of ambition, deep secrets, and now rebirth, it kind of makes you wonder, what is the real treasure of this island? Well, if you ask the people shaping its future, they'll tell you the treasure isn't buried gold at all. It's the quality of life they can build right on its surface. It's streets designed for interaction, parks made for relaxing, and access to that breathtaking beauty of the bay. What a complete contrast to that original idea of treasure, right? Stevenson's novel described a pirate's hoard, this chaotic pile of coins from 100 years of plunder. It's physical, it's finite, and it's all about the past. The tale of these two islands really leaves us with one final thought. The fictional one tells us that treasure is something you find. But the real one, with its complicated, messy, and ongoing story, it suggests something else entirely. That maybe the real treasure isn't found at all. Maybe it's built. Not as a relic of the past, but as a promise for the future.